Ready? Another assignment is running the same number of beads on 1¼ inch square tubing using the electric arc welder. The electric arc welder that you're going to be using is going to be an AC welder. We've got 2 or 3 different Lincoln welders here, but let me tell you exactly or how to get in the ballpark on your amperage. We're going to be welding with 1/8 inch electrodes. 1/8 inch, the fraction 1/8 inch, if you work that fraction out, ends up being 0.125. To get into the ballpark, you may want to start somewhere about 125 amps. In other words, work the fraction out, drop the decimal point, and that is your amperage setting that you're going to start out with. You may have to go up or down from that. Right now I'm going to go ahead and start at 130 amps, okay? And I'll go ahead and click it on. After you've got it set at 130 amps, I have the electrode holder and I have the ground. I just simply have to make sure the ground is connected somewhere on the table. I can lap this electrode holder over in order to get everything positioned. Now the goal on these welding tables is that I don't weld it to the table. So I want to just put my work on the table and it will be completely grounded. Putting your electrode into the electrode holder is pretty easy, and there's a lot of different ways you can do it. The electrode that we're using happens to be 1/8 inch 6013, and we'll talk about what that means someday. But right now, it's just a coated electrode, and it goes in the electrode holder. Some people like to put it in at a little bit of an angle like that. Other people like it straight away. And starting out new, some people like an angle, something like that. So you determine what you like best. Now, there's 2 ways to start a bead. This gets a little bit tricky, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to weld with this versus the MIG welder, and you're going to find that out. Straight without starting an arc. One way of starting the arc is I like to do this. I like to put on a left glove for sure. You can obviously have both gloves on, but for whatever reason I like to feel my electrode holder with my hand here. I grab the electrode right here in my fingers, and that's what's going to give me the control, just like I showed you with a MIG welder. 2 ways I can start the arc is, one is scratching and then coming up just high enough to where it supports an arc, which is going to be about 1/8 of an inch. Or I can tap down and pull back up, and that will also establish an arc. If you're a beginning welder, chances are you're going to want to drag and adjust. Drag and adjust. Okay, then again, I have to feed my electrode down as it burns away, and all my control is come from this hand that's on the table, and I'm just giving a light nudge back and forth. I like a back and forth weave action. Some people like a circle action. Some people like kind of a square action. You determine what you like best. Some people don't weave at all, but you probably need to have a little bit of weave. The weave will start more at the beginning of the weld, and at the end it will be less because it's going to widen out. Now what is important though is when you get done is you will have some slag on it, and you will chip that off, turn it, produce 4 welds again. Okay? One more time on this angle. If I'm going to go backhand, I want to come down at about a 45 degree. I want to come down at 5 to 15 in the direction of travel. Different textbooks will tell you differently, but I have been taught 5 to 15 in the direction of travel. Okay, and then when you get to the end, you just simply pull up, and the arc will stop. All you're doing is creating an electricity arc, an electrical arc between the rod and the base metal that melts away the metal and adds metal and supplies the heat for the weld. Okay, again, 4 welds, 4 inches long, cool it, 4 inches long, cool it, 4 inches long, cool it, 4 inches long, cool it. That's electric arc welding, AC.